What is truth? Truth about the world is concrete. Reality is concrete. A rock is not a metaphor. A mountain is not a belief. A disease does not care about your ideology. Reality exists whether we approve of it or not. In mathematics, truth can be self-contained. A theorem follows from axioms. A logical conclusion follows from premises. But outside formal systems, truth must confront reality. It must survive collision with the world. Now consider revelation. A prophet claims to possess divine truth. A scripture claims divine authority. A religious institution claims custody over ultimate reality. But how do we know? Not because we investigated, not because we tested, not because we verified. We are told first. We are expected to believe afterward. The conclusion arrives before the inquiry begins. This is the great divide. Science invites contradiction. Science survives by exposing itself to failure. Every theory remains vulnerable. Every hypothesis can be challenged. Every conclusion can be overturned. But revelation operates differently. The revelation is declared sacred before examination begins. The prophet is accepted before verification occurs. The scripture is protected before criticism is allowed. The authority comes first. The evidence comes later, if it comes at all. Then something even more powerful happens. Religion merges with political authority. The sacred becomes law. The law becomes power. The power becomes unquestionable. Kings rule by divine sanction. Priests speak for heaven. Empires march beneath sacred banners. Dissent becomes disobedience. Criticism becomes blasphemy. Inquiry becomes dangerous, because inquiry threatens authority. Once this process begins, truth changes its meaning. Truth no longer means correspondence with reality. Truth means conformity to doctrine. Truth means loyalty to the institution. Truth means obedience to the sacred order. And when contradictions appear, they are explained away. When prophecies fail, they are reinterpreted. When evidence conflicts, the evidence is questioned. The doctrine survives, not because it was tested, but because it was protected. Yet the same pattern appears elsewhere. Political ideologies do it. Revolutionary movements do it. Nationalist movements do it. Any system that places itself above criticism begins to resemble revelation. The doctrine becomes sacred. The leader becomes infallible. The questions become forbidden. And reality becomes the enemy. But reality does not negotiate. Reality does not care about authority. Reality does not care about tradition. Reality does not care about popularity. Reality simply waits, waiting for every claim to prove itself, waiting for every doctrine to face the world as it is, because truth requires no protection. Truth requires no censorship. Truth requires no army. Truth requires no sacred status. Truth survives because it is true. It survives because reality keeps confirming it. So here is the question. If a claim cannot survive independent investigation, if a doctrine cannot survive criticism, if a belief cannot survive confrontation with evidence, if a truth requires protection from reality itself, then is it truth at all? Truth requires no protection. Truth requires no authority. Truth requires no sacred status. For a deeper investigation into the nature of truth, visit www.reasoninrevolt.com.